All right, we back at it. Hey, what's up, y'all? AWB, I'm back at it. We're getting ready to do another stream. I got a few videos pulled up. Yeah, I'll wait for a couple people to drop in here before I get started. But I also wanted to say what I plan to do, not on this stream, but another stream. I'm going to go over all my polls and talk about y'all thoughts on these polls that I posted. So whatever you pick, because I give 4 choices in each one of my polls, and I'm gonna talk to y'all about my choice and the choice that y'all make. Let's see what we got pulled up. But before we start any of that, I just want to say, if you haven't already, go ahead and grab my book. So this is my book. It's on Amazon. Eyes on Authority: How to Hold Public Servants Accountable from the Streets to the Screen. Document the Fight for Freedom. So this is just a book basically telling you how to go about exercising your rights, and just education on what your rights are, and know that you're not doing something wrong when you decide to record your experience in public businesses or public buildings. I shouldn't say public businesses. I just say public buildings. So we're gonna start right here. This is Dr. Insanity's channel, and the title of this video is "When Racist Cops Realize They've Been Arrested." And this video was posted a year ago, and it got 6.5 million views.
Evil and racist cops have always been around, going around abusing their power on minority groups.
He saw this and he wanted to make a problem.
But what happens when these racist cops get caught in the act?
I'm on the same side as you. No, you aren't.
Here are 3 examples of when racist cops are caught, starting with the shocking case of Kyle Erickson, who tried to frame a black suspect.
A little bit of weed.
On the 13th of March, 2018, Officer Kyle Erickson and his partner pulled over Jason Serrano and his friend for an apparent broken taillight. However, this stop ended up getting seriously out of hand when a cop tried to plant evidence.
The car smells like marijuana, so we're going to check it, all right? Okay, then that's it. Then I got to make sure everything's good with your end. Just get the taillight fixed. There's nothing in the car. You'll be good to go. All right.
Immediately, the cops claim they can smell marijuana in the car and say that they're going to have to search it. Usually, a civilian has the right to refuse a search, but if the cops have probable cause to believe a suspect has committed a crime, they can bypass that right and search their property without consent. Smelling weed on the property technically counts as probable cause, and because it's impossible to dispute while looking at body cam footage, it's often used as a way for corrupt cops to easily begin a search without the suspect's permission or a warrant.
We need to check the car, so I need you to hop out.
All right, I'm getting up.
Okay. Hang out with me.
I don't have nothing in my jacket. I'm not.
Okay, well, he's going to check it.
I don't have nothing in. No,
relax.
I don't need to.
This situation is about to escalate for no reason.
No, because I didn't do nothing.
It was in the car.
No, this is on me.
Relax.
It's my possession. Come on.
Relax. Relax.
Yo, relax. Put that jacket down right now.
Put the jacket down. Cuff him up.
Absolutely no reason that man should be on the ground right now.
For the rest of the body cam footage, Jason is left on the ground, handcuffed, and visibly in pain from the takedown. It took almost 20 minutes for an ambulance to arrive. It's unclear in the body cam footage, but with how much pain Jason is in, it's obvious that an unnecessary amount of force was used to take him down. So for the cops, this is just where the story begins, and you can see the exact moment reality sets in for them.
All right, I'm searching the rest of the car. Actually, I'll let you check. Yeah, there's my flashlight. I'll stay with him.
The officers are fully aware that they've hurt Jason, and if their car turns up empty,
They say we gotta find something. So whenever they say something like that, you already know they have to find something.
all they've done is searched a car without a warrant and used excessive force to unlawfully detain a civilian. However, if they do find something illegal, then all of that should magically go away, as Jason and the driver go from civilians to criminals, and they're just helping bring them to justice. At this point, it's not necessarily just about race. They're trying to save themselves after making a violent mistake. Obviously, this is horribly corrupt, but nevertheless, the stakes are high for the cops. Their jobs are on the line, and they have to find something.
No, she has a proper documentation for the plates. Temporary registration is valid. Just ran her permit only. He doesn't have a driver's license. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And just seeing if my partner found anything yet.
See nothing.
Nothing?
After searching the entire vehicle for about 5 minutes, the cops turn up nothing, and they both start to seem more and more agitated. But here's where things start to take a dark and shady turn. When the officers fail to turn up anything, they decide to get a little creative.
See nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little bit of weed.
Without even trying to hide it from his camera, the detective places a small bud of marijuana in the cup holder of the vehicle where he's already checked.
Unbelievably terrible. Why would a cop do this? Why would you do this?
Multiple times. The way the officer does this without even trying to hide it implies that he's almost certain that this will never come back to haunt them, and even suggests that this might not be his first time doing it either. In fact, the way the cops have been talking to each other the entire time indicates that this might just be a regular step in their process.
Good? Good? Yeah.
All of a sudden, the cops have a case against Jason. During the stop, they smelled marijuana in the car. Jason became combative after they asked to search it, so they took him down and searched the car, where they found not only a small piece in the cup holder, but even flakes in his jacket. This is the story that Jason was taken to trial over, and he was charged with marijuana possession, resisting arrest, and obstructing governmental administration. It took over 2 years for this body cam footage to emerge, and only then would Jason's charges be dropped. Predictably, no charges were brought against the officers, but it did raise an important question. What else has been caught on these cameras that's being hidden from us? This is why some people feel it's important to record their interactions with police themselves, just like this black police graduate did when he was confronted by these two officers blatantly racially profiling him.
Can we see some ID?
No, what for?
I just asked you.
What's your probable cause to ask me for ID?
It does not have a handicap placard.
Read the plate, man. You don't even know what you're talking about. DV, that's disabled veteran plate. We can park in handicapped spots.
Let me see some ID, please.
No.
The man recording is a graduate of the nearby police academy and was wearing full gear and uniform, including his duty belt with a loaded weapon. Because he's police academy certified, he's completely within his right to wear the gear, but the officers aren't buying it. So the graduate tells them to run his name through TCOL, an agency that, amongst other things, keeps track of every police officer in Texas. If the graduate is cleared to wear his gear, TCOL will prove it.
Hey.
Run it. Run it. Call T-Cole. You have no justification of probable cause to run up on me. Yeah. Why? You detaining me?
I don't want you to get hit by the car.
No. Then my question is, are you detaining me?
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so then don't tell me where to go. He's not too smart because first of all, even you know, if I have disabled veteran plate, I can park in a handicapped spot.
Yeah,
even you know
they
that.
just changed
No,
that.
they didn't just change that. It's been that way.
The problem the officers had was that the graduate was parking in a handicapped spot without displaying a parking permit. But his car has a disabled veteran plate, a license plate given to many Army veterans who've made a bodily sacrifice during their active duty. Owning the plate lets you park in handicapped spots without a permit. This is fairly common knowledge across America, especially for cops. But it seems that these officers forgot about it here, and the graduate thinks he knows why.
He just saw this, and he saw this, and he wanted to make a problem. That's your reputation there, Joshua. Come on, man. Yes, it is. How many black officers you got? One.
Yeah, we don't have one right now.
One.
Yeah, but,
I know. And you barely let him in.
It's difficult to disagree with the graduate. They had absolutely no reason to stop the graduate and demand his ID. Maybe a new recruit could forget about.
Hey, sorry for interrupting. Isn't that annoying? What if I told you there was a way to get rid of ads like this forever? It's called
the veteran plates, but this man is actually a police captain and has many years of police service under his belt. Evidently in a department with next to no black representation. Eventually, the officers return to tell him he's free to go, but the graduate isn't leaving before saying one last thing.
You know, you're feeling small now, aren't you?
No, that's it.
You shouldn't run up on people. You have no probable cause. If you wanted to follow me and run my plate, you could have done that.
Talk to anybody?
No, well, I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to talk to you. That's right. I already told you that. Waste my time and you. You're supposed to be a captain, and you don't know the disabled plates have a right to park in a parking spot. And you violating people's rights, running up on them without probable cause. I'm in a uniform doing the same thing for you for free. So what? I don't care what he thinks. I'm a graduate and I have T-code certification. Certification. Yes, I do. That's where you checked it. It says who? My certification doesn't say expired. You want it to be expired because you see brown skin. So take a walk. Walk of shame, Captain. Don't ever you run up on me again. Do you understand? And learn the law, and you better have probable cause before you run up on somebody in uniform. You don't have no reasonable suspicion because I'm on the same side as you.
No, you aren't.
I'm a graduate of the police academy, okay? Just like you years ago. You probably couldn't even pass the test. Right now, you go. You get going.
Getting into fights with other uniformed police officers definitely isn't the best look for a police captain, especially after racially profiling that very same officer. And because the graduate was filming the entire thing himself, he was able to show the city manager, and that very same afternoon, it was revealed that the captain was no longer working for the police department. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, it's extremely rare for cops to actually be reprimanded after behavior like this, as is obvious in the case of Montree Little. In this case, the cop not only lied and threatened Montree, but he even cost the city $75,000 and still got away with no punishment. On July 15th, 2018, Montree and his friend were pulled over by the police. The stop started out normal, but quickly evolved into a perfect display of how cops will try to force you into a false confession through corruption and, in this case, racism.
What's going on, guys?
Not much. How you doing, officer?
Is this your car?
Well, it's a rental right now. My car's in the shop.
Okay. Did something break down?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha. You guys just came from over the park, right?
Yeah, we just hanging out.
That's it? Is this your car?
I just told you my car's in the shop, officer. This is a rental.
Okay. How do you start it?
What do you mean? I just put my foot on the brake and I put it in drive and I drive, officer.
At first, this may seem like a harmless question, but asking the driver, Montree Little, how to start the car essentially implies that the cop thinks he stole it. If Montree was unfamiliar with the vehicle, he would have likely struggled to remember how to start it. And if he fumbled around a little before remembering, it could imply he was under the influence. But Montree kept his composure and passes this first test totally fine. The cop, however, still isn't impressed and decides to take things further by tricking Montree into giving his property over.
So it's your car, though? Did they give you a fob or something?
My car, officer.
Did they give you a key fob or something? Or?
Yes, sir. Officer.
Like, what does it do? Does it?
You see, this should let you know that it's in.
Okay. Do you have any weapons on you or in the car?
No, officer.
Okay, can I be honest with you? It smells like marijuana in the car, and I can see shake on the ground. Your buddy's giving me the idea that maybe he's got a gun. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think.
How?
I don't know. Just the way, I mean, just the way you're holding yourself, man. Like, that's why we're nervous, man. That's it.
Not only did the officer mislead Montree into giving the keys over, but he's also suddenly decided he can smell marijuana in the vehicle, and based purely on a hunch that the passenger is hiding a weapon. Both of these things, especially the marijuana smell, are often used as a reason to search the vehicle, bypassing the need for consent by the property owner. The speed and order in which the officer works here is extremely suspicious. Confiscating the keys without even mentioning it implies that he already decided he was going to search the vehicle, and that he was trying to make Montree feel helpless or even threatened. Emotions you can clearly see on his face as they're stolen from him.
Go ahead and step out, Montree. Yep, I just told you why. 3 times. You want me to recap again? I mean, I told you I'm a cop. Face the car when you step out. Face the car when you step out. Face the car when you step out. Don't flex. Don't flex. I don't know what you're doing, man, but you need to knock that off. Stop pulling on your arms. What's going on, dude? Where are you trying to get? What are you doing, dude?
Officer, I'm not doing nothing to you.
Well, you're making me think something funny is going on, man. Okay, so slide over. I mean, your heart is thumping, dude. Like, you're beating.
Officer, don't, please.
Everything the cop has done and said so
Absolutely insane. Could you imagine having to go through this in your car? Coming or going from wherever you just came from, and you're not committing any crimes, and this is what you deal with based off of profiling. They might not profile you just because you're black. They might have profiled you because you looked, you just had a different look to you, or whatever imaginary thing they come up with could possibly lead to you being in this situation. It's crazy.
far is textbook in terms of corruption. This is obviously a serious event for Montree, but the cop is deliberately trying to be lighthearted and jovial about the whole thing, using words such as funny and silly to purposefully seem condescending. He also mentions that Montree's heart is beating fast and that he seems nervous. Another classic observation that appears time and time again in these cases. Think back to the stop of Marion Humphrey, whose truck was searched for the sole reason that he seemed nervous. Innocent civilians such as Montree will always feel anxious or even angry in this situation, and it's an easy observation for cops to make to detain them and obtain probable cause, which is exactly what the cop did.
And the thing is, they feed off of that.
Let's try woman. Short hair.
Cool. And a guy?
Easy, right?
On LTX.
They feed on you being nervous or uncomfortable in that situation. They enjoy that. That feels good for them. And if you don't show them that you're threatened or you feel like you're in danger, or it's like they do even more to make you feel that way.
The search uncovered nothing illegal in Montree's car, but the cop kept him in the back of his patrol vehicle. This is where things start to get really shady.
I did everything you asked me to, officer. You thought there was a weapon. There's no weapon. We wasn't doing anything wrong, officer. I'm not sure why you pulled me over. At your rental, everything is fine. There was no breaking taillight or nothing, officer. I did nothing wrong with you.
Did I make anything up when I said the car smelled like marijuana?
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Hold on.
Because there was nobody smoking in the car.
Is there marijuana shake on the floor of the car?
Officer, that was cigarette ash, okay? You didn't find no marijuana.
I'm not charging you with marijuana. But here's what. If you want me to be real with you, like, I want you to be real with me for a second. Like, did I make?
Of course, he's not charging you with marijuana, and the reason is because he didn't have any.
That up.
I believe so, officer.
Okay, so you want me to just write you the ticket for the stuff that I have to write you tickets for?
Yeah.
If you think that I'm lying, like, then we'll go to court and we'll talk about it then.
Okay.
Or do you want to just be real with me and I'll be real with you?
Wow, officer.
Montree is being aggressively.
If a cop tell you to be real with them, that just means that they're looking for every way to get over on you.
backed into a corner. The cop obviously knows that he's done something wrong. He's only trying to get Montree to forget about it and move past it without further incident. When he doesn't, the cop threatens him by saying he'll write up the ticket and he'll have to take it to court, where it'll essentially be Montree versus the world. It's also important to remember that cops are allowed to lie and use deceptive tactics to extract a confession. If Montree had told him that he didn't make up the smell, then in a weird, twisted way, he essentially just admitted to possessing illegal drugs. Luckily, Montree maintained his story and was reluctantly let go by the cops. Just days later, Montree sued the city and after a year of fighting, reached a settlement of $75,000 based on an unlawful traffic stop and warrantless search. The cop was removed from patrol duty, but not fired, despite leading one of the most callous displays of corruption ever caught on camera. But the police are extremely good at one-upping themselves when it comes to corruption. Take, for example, the time when 2 Californian cops essentially kidnapped a man eating lunch in his own car.
What's going on?
You live around here?
Hey, don't touch,
bro. Relax. Hey, you match the description of somebody, okay, that just committed a burglary in the area. Okay, you're on camera, so don't step out the car.
Is your body cam on?
It's on.
Yes,
it's on.
What's step on out, dude?
We'll explain everything to you, okay? Just step out of the car. Step out of the car.
I'm not stepping out of the car.
You're being detained for a burglary investigation, okay, sir? So step out.
No.
Do you live in the area?
I'm not answering any questions. I want my lawyer.
Okay, step out of the car. You're being detained right now. All right? Step out of the car.
Firstly, the suspect named Jamal Williams does everything right. He tells the cops he's not answering any questions until he has a lawyer. Unfortunately for him, though, the cops aren't having any of it because he matches the description of a suspect that technically gives them the right to detain him while they investigate further. What's interesting is that the only description the cops had was that it was a black male wearing all black in his early 20s, possibly a red t-shirt underneath. Jamal...
Do you know how broad that description is? That's crazy. That's the description they use. A black man wearing all black. Or wearing... Get out of here.
Is 40 years old, wearing a red hoodie and gray sweatpants. It's also incredibly hard to punish cops for detaining someone that doesn't match that description, as they could just say they thought he did. In general, the system is very lackluster, but it shouldn't necessarily harm or bother Jamal. Not unless the cops do this.
Sir, step on out, dude. Sir.
Look at him. Going in his car. This is criminal. What he's doing right now is criminal.
You're on camera, dude, so don't...
He looks like a criminal doing it. And that should tell you, like, he knows that this is criminal. He looks like a criminal while he's doing it because he's committing a crime right now. And they both know that they are.
Don't do anything dumb, okay?
Hold on. I'm going to get this on camera.
Go ahead, you can record. Step out of the car, please.
It's being aggressive.
Hey, stop resisting, dude.
Stop resisting.
I'm just...
Why are you... No, man.
Okay.
Call your supervisor. 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 Stop, dude. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor. Call your supervisor. I'm going to chase you, dude.
Look at this. Look at his face right here. Could you imagine being in a situation like this? Completely terrible. Look at this criminal all in his car trying to... It basically looks like they're trying to steal his car.
Yeah, I've already
Give me your hand.
I don't give you consent to touch me. Don't reach. I don't give you consent to touch me.
Don't reach.
I don't give you consent. Handcuff.
I took 2 things that I love, dancing and dogs, and I made them into a successful business. Hi.
Initially, Jamal showed no signs of aggression and no signs of resisting. He was just trying to open his phone to record the interaction for his own safety. Nevertheless, the cop immediately said he's being aggressive as Jamal was willingly stepping out of the car.
Step out of the car, please.
It's being aggressive.
This obviously frustrated Jamal, and he later admitted from then he did try and stay inside the vehicle. But the amount of force the cops used from here on was completely unwarranted. One cop even pulled a taser and threatened to use it on Jamal, despite him posing no actual threat. Jamal is then handcuffed and kept face down on the tarmac while multiple other patrol vehicles arrive at the scene. For a man guilty of nothing other than eating his lunch, that sure is a lot of cops.
If we take these off, are you going to cause a problem? Are you going to kick any windows out, anything like that?
And what's crazy is my middle name is Jamal. So when I this could be me in a situation like this, I truly do.
I don't answer questions. You can leave them on then, that's fine.
That's fine.
Which one do you want to stand him up and get into a car? Just leave him here until fire sees him real quick to make it easy.
He doesn't want to walk. He doesn't want to answer questions. And just leave him. Is your first name Jamal? That's who the car is.
I don't give you consent to go in my car and check my car. I don't give you consent to check my car. You're violating my Fourth Amendment constitutional rights. So I think we should move forward and try at least get on the back seat.
Yeah, that's fine. What's your name, guys? Now, why are you guys kidnapped? I can't talk to you until you help me out. Tell me, why am I being kidnapped? Let's say move you, we'll figure that out. I'll let you know. Find a car and put it in. Okay. We'll talk when you get here.
At this point, there are over a dozen cops at the scene, and Jamal is fully restrained in both handcuffs and leg wraps. He's also already been cleared to not be the suspect, yet he's still taken to the patrol car, fully restrained, and put in the back seat. It's also important to note that the cops were able to identify and clear Jamal by running his plates, something they could have done in secret before even approaching him. The worst part is that even after all of this, Jamal still wasn't free. He was cleared of the burglary charge, but he was in.
You say Jamal should have pepper sprayed them. Look how they was acting with him already. If he would have pepper sprayed them, who knows if he would even been able to survive this situation.
Instead hit with a felony charge of resisting arrest and taken to jail. Jamal later filed a formal complaint with the LA Sheriff's Department. But just as another example of how corrupt this system is, they were allowed to investigate themselves. And as you'd expect, they found no evidence of any wrongdoing. Months later, Jamal filed a civil rights lawsuit against the arresting officers. Unfortunately, though, the story remains much the same. The officers were investigated by a police lieutenant, and after analyzing the body cam footage, it was concluded that Jamal's actions turned the interaction confrontational, and that the arresting officers were courteous through.
That is crazy. This would piss me off even more.
Throughout the entire event, Jamal's charges were dropped.
So think about what his reaction is going to be, or whenever the attitude he's going to have when he's dealing with police at all in the future.
Dropped, but no.
Why would he trust police after this?
No charges were brought against either of the cops.